Before Genshin Impact, I thought Pokemon had the most disposable writing style ever written, where every new face is treated like the messiah for 20 minutes before being catapulted into the abyss, never to be spoken of again. Then Genshin Impact took that formula, mashed Misty and Brock into one annoying child, made Ash mute, and shot Team Rocket behind the barn. Shenhe was my first abyss catapult casualty, erased from the plot like a typo the devs hope no one noticed. Clearly they mistook her perfectly spherical butt as the moon and yeeted her into the night sky. Every Genshin player is in love with one event character they'll never see again. My thoughts and prayers to the Eula enthusiasts. Let's talk about the god-awful combat. Combat's about as balanced as a one-legged table on a trampoline. Every character dies in 3 hits. Defense exists purely to reduce the chances of getting good artifact rolls, and HP's only purpose is to remind you how fast it disappears, and entire elements get power crept into oblivion faster than a gacha whale's paycheck. Keeping up with Genshin's rotations is like spinning plates while the floor is on fire, all while dodging teleports, lasers, and existential dread. God forbid the enemy counters your build. Congratulations, it's time for the sacred ritual of swapping parties, re-equipping every artifact, weapon, and every fragile scrap of sanity through a menu that lags like it's rendering the birth of the universe instead of 4 idiots floating in a void. Sorry, I can't stop thinking about the story. It's like a slow-motion car crash. Imagine Pokemon airing 1 episode a month, promising every month if you stick around long enough, you might get to find out who Ash's dad is. Got so bad I only check in once a year at Lantern Night, hoping Shenhe's been resurrected from narrative purgatory, long enough for me to find out how her mother died, or why her father seemed to blame her. That's the real core of the problem. Every new Genshin character gets an intro dramatic enough to imply they'll change the course of history. You meet them, get 3 lines of backstory, 1 tragic flute solo, and just when you're desperate for answers, the game drops them like a bad Tinder date, wandering off to introduce the next mystery no one will ever solve. It's like the writers of Genshin Impact watched Lost and thought, this show would be even better if they didn't answer any of the questions. Every plot thread dangles there like wet laundry in a hurricane, until the next update politely pretends none of it ever happened. It's the narrative equivalent of Drake's parenting style. Let's talk about the lack of 2 elephants in the room. Great chest flattening of Teyvat, where voluptuous became verboten overnight. Rosaria, the greatest rug pull since the dawn of digital disappointment. For weeks they teased her like the second coming of edgy nun energy, the internet already halfway through commissioning stained glass tributes, and right before release they quietly remodel her like someone got a memo titled, "Remember, we're a family company." The collective blue balling could have powered Mondstadt's windmills for a century. You could feel the temperature of the fandom drop overnight. 1 minute she's the patron saint of sinful thoughts, the next she's been remodeled by a committee of frightened interns armed with a modesty manual and a belt sander. It was less a character update and more a mass emotional castration. It carried the same weight of monetary greed and disappointment as a crypto pump and dump, only this was pump and longfully wish for the dump that'll never come. Every year Genshin unveils a new region, which is strange when you realise it didn't exist the day before. Whole continents just blink into being, like the developers are playing God with a short attention span. NPCs talk about them for months as if they're myth, and 1 patch later, boom, instant civilization, fully staffed and suspiciously well mapped. It's less world building and more divine DLC installation. So, what's the verdict? Genshin Impact is gorgeous, generous with atmosphere, and occasionally remembers it's supposed to be fun, but mostly it's a carnival of time-gated chores disguised as wonder. Every patch gives you a new pretty face and a longer to-do list. The combat's a dice roll, story's amnesia in real time, and exploration's a treadmill built out of loading screens. Gacha games run entirely on goodwill. It's the only renewable energy source that they have. Goodwill leaks out faster than stamina in the rain, yet somehow the visuals and music keep me crawling back like a whipped tourist chasing ambience. The worst part is how it holds its best characters hostage. Brilliant designs and charming personalities, trapped in a slot machine pretending to be a world. I keep wishing I'd break them out, move them to a better game where they'd actually get screen time instead of rotting in a gacha basement waiting for their next rerun. It's a masterpiece of squandered potential, beautiful, manipulative, and every banner a new reminder that the prison walls are painted really, really well. Stockholm Syndrome never looked this pretty.